This is Phil Woolery with Purdue Extension. I'm out here at Kajers Greens in Stark County with a Northwest Indiana produce update. We're going to look at their farm, what they grow, and their production methods.
So I'm Marciel Kajer. I am the owner of Kajers Greens. We are a small production market farm, human-powered, minimal till farm based out of Northwest Indiana. We mainly sell to markets, restaurants, and our farm stand now. So fast turnaround crops, nothing longer than, I would say, 60 to 70 day crops. A lot of greens, mizunas, root vegetables. Tomatoes would probably be our longest term crop that we do have. You know, it's really based on the weather, honestly, but we'll try to skip. We'll do maybe every other week of planting. It won't be, and sometimes it depends on the crop as well. Like beets, we'll definitely prolong those dates just because it's going to take so long to get to the date to maturity on the shoulder seasons. With our area, we have lack of sunlight to get those DTMs faster, you know, for us that I've experienced myself. You know, this is just our third year growing beets. Everything we do, aside from our Mizuna mix and arugula, I believe is transplanted. Yep, paper pot is what we mainly use. We have some 72 cell trays that we'll use. Doing some experimenting on wind strip trays. But the paper pots are a 264 cell tray that will come out in a daisy chain. And they'll come out linked together. We'll put it through a machine, and it makes planting a whole lot easier to do than doing it by hand. You know, like I said, we're a human-powered farm, so we're trying to keep labor costs down. It's really just me and my family working. We have one worker, but the transplanter really has given us time to be able to not only be able to afford to do it ourselves, but if there's a crop that we didn't sell a lot of at the market, we can let the crop sit in here rather than having to seed it, you know, direct seed a crop. So it does do a lot of benefiting for a small farmer like me. We will definitely well, I'll tell you that this year is going to be a little different than what we usually do. I'll tell you what we did the previous years, and then I'll go in and tell you what we're going to do this year. Usually what we'll do is we'll rip the crops out, flame weed, get rid of weeds, and then we'll go in and add 5-gallon buckets of compost that we'll get in. We're using Morgan Compost Dairy Dew last year, and it was okay. We had good results with it. Still unhappy with production, and the soil was definitely, after a couple soil tests, we were lacking calcium. So I ended up sourcing local compost from another farmer this year. And what we are going to do this year is we laid down a thick layer of compost, and that's all we're going to do this year. We're going to amend it with soil amendments this year. Definitely trying to keep in feather meal, and I forgot what the other soil amendment is that we're using. But yeah, I mean, that's, you know, no more adding in of compost every time that we switch over a crop. It's just so labor intensive to do that throughout the season, especially when we're so busy, you know. Just trying to do it differently this year. This year we're looking into that, previously not. That's why I'm bringing in like cauliflower, was that other crop, that new crop for this year. Something starting into the brassica forms, you know, to get different feeders in. I didn't want to add, we're just going to see how that goes, you know, and figure that out as we're going along. A good well, good water source, couldn't live without that. You know, if you're running on a small well, and you have to take turns watering your whole farm, I mean, I couldn't do that on the well that we started off with. You know, just for me, you know, I would say that would definitely be something I couldn't live without. We kind of do a hybrid system, I guess is what it's called. Is we'll go in with overhead irrigation from Netafilm. I forgot what the emitters are, but they are spaced out every 2 foot. They have anti-drip kits on them, so they won't just constantly drip down water on you. We use that for direct seeded or even transplants, but as soon as we get our tomato crops in, we'll switch over to drip. We're even looking into this year, how I was telling you about the lettuce that we're going to do on drip. Is going to be done the same way. We'll start off with overhead irrigation, and then after the crops mature into a certain point, we'll cut off overhead irrigation, and then we'll just start drip halfway through its life. That way we can fight off dampening off and powdery mildew and all those other various diseases that are fun to have.
Thanks for watching, and be on the lookout for more videos throughout the summer from different farms around the area.